Hello everybody, how are you? Welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to continue our next.js and Tailwind CSS series, and this is video number 5. And in this video we are going to implement a tabs component. And as you know, when we are using some different data in our website, we can simply change our page to see different data. But sometimes we want to see different data in one page and we don't want to redirect our user to somewhere else, and we have some categorized data. So in this situation, we can simply use different tabs, and in each tab we will render the related data. That's it. So let's do it and go to our coding. Let's start by cloning our repository, and before that let me show you that for now we have 5 different branches: v1, episode 4, episode 3, episode 2, and branch main. So we create a new episode like episode 5 for this episode and use that branch. Let's clone the repository. So copy the address, and in drive F I will open a new command prompt and I say git clone this address. That's it. So let's open it on VS Code. So code.slash. Let's go cd next.js and code dot to open this project in VS Code. That's it. So before everything, let's create a new branch. I will click on this main and I choose create new branch from. So from episode 4, I want to create a new branch and the name would be episode 5, and that's it. So now I have episode 5 like the other episodes. That's good. So let's start. The first thing is I want to install the node module. So npm I, and I want the node module folder. So let's use npm I. That's it. And then npm run dev to start our project, and let's have both of them in our screen. Localhost port 3000. And this is my menu, so I want to add another one in the complex menu. So let's do this. The first thing is we need to create a new submenu in the complex. So let's go to the layout sections, and in main sidebar, this is it. So where we need to add it. Okay, this is whole scroll bar, and after this whole scroll bar, I want to add it. So the first thing is we need to add another item inside of this UL. So let's use a margin via 1 for these items. That's it. And after that, let's copy this li and have it here. That's it. So for its name, I want to have a tabs. That's it. And here I want to have the slash complex slash tabs. Let's press Ctrl S. And you can see that we have some problem here. So what we need to do this here, we have the flex just by start, items of center, and gap of 3. And I think the problem is with flex. So here let's use a start. Yeah, that's better. Also let's use a start for this one. So just if I have a start, it is better. And in one episode I will continue to work on this, and we'll use this arrow to click on it, and we open our submenu using clicking. But for now, let's just focus on our tabs. So this is, I have our scroll bar and tabs. So by clicking on this, I need to go to the slash complex slash tabs, and it is not found. So let's create it, and let's go to the app, And inside this app, we have a complex. And inside of complex, I create a tabs with page.tsx. That's it. Let's use RFCE. And it seems that we have a problem, so cannot use JS6. Oh, my bad. This is not a TypeScript problem. Sorry. This must be JS6. I'm not using TypeScript, but now let's use RFCE, and this is it. So let's copy the structure from another page, like let's say, yeah, I think this is good. So let's copy the top of that page and here, use it here, and after that, let's have another div and format document. That's good. So this is it. And in this page, I can just simply change its name to tabs page. And that's it. So we have a simple division with class name of bg white, rounded LG, margin x of 4, and padding of 4. And inside of it, I will say this is a tabs page. And after that, I want to have a BR. And after that, I want to create a tabs component and use it here. And because I want this component to be reusable, I will create some items out of that and I will pass that items to the component, and this is a better way. So let's create an array here. So I say const items. So I want to have an array, and in each array I simply can have a title. Let's say, for example, tab 1, and also I can have a content. This content can be everything. For example, test content. And you can simply copy paste this multiple times and use any data you want. But I want to show you a complicated sample, so I will copy this from the GitHub repository. And after, when you are watching this video, you can simply copy this data from the repository, or you can use your own data. So let me copy them here, and this is it. So I created, let's format document. So I have some different items like tab 1, and in this content, you can see that I'm using divisions, H1P, and any complicated structure you want. So I have tab 1, tab 2, and tab 3, and tab 4, and for each one, I use some different Tailwind classes. So this is my data. Let's create a component for it and then continue. So let's go to the components. And inside of my components, I want to create a new folder named tabs. And inside of this, I will create tabs component dot jsx. Let's say RFC for now, and use that component here. So tabs component, it would be imported automatically from @/component tabs component. And also let's pass the items, and I will pass these items to this component, and in here I will receive them. And let's, for now, let's check them. So I simply say that JSON.stringify of these items to be sure I'm receiving them. Yeah, this is the data I'm receiving. That's it. So let's work on this tabs component. Let's go here and delete everything inside of my tabs component and start over again. So the first thing is I want to have a division with class names of bg sky 100 flex justify of center and align items of center and the padding y of 12, and this is it. So let's, inside of this division, I want to have another division, and for this division, I can simply use some classes like maximum width of MD. That's it. and again flex and flex column with a gap y of 2 and then width of full. That's it. And simply inside of this division, I want to have another division. So this division would be the top side. So this would be a top. And after this division, I will have another one with bottom. That's it. So I have top and bottom. Let's refresh. Okay, I have top and bottom, so this is it. On the top side, I can simply use the data. For example, I can render all of them. I'm receiving an item, so I simply say items.map, and for each item, I'm going to receive something and render something. So for each item, I will receive an item and an index, and for each one, I can simply render a button for it. And inside this button, I will render item dot. So we have item dot title for it. That's it. And you can see that I have tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, and tab 4. And let's have some class for them. So in this division, we can simply use a bg blue of 400, padding of 1. Okay, not bad. And after this padding 1, I can have a rounded of XL can be good. And also let's use a flex for our display and a justify of between. So its justify content would be between and its align items would be center. That's it. And also let's have a gap between them. So I use gap x of 2. And this is it. So now you can see that I have 4 different items. It's so good. And also let's have a font of bold. I think font of bold can be better. Yes. And also text white because we are using blue. Text white I think can be a better idea. Yes, it is it. So for now you can see that I have 4 different items and I'm using these classes for them. And after that I have some buttons. So for these buttons I can have simply some class names. So let's have a class name for them, like I don't want to have any outline, so I simply use outline of none and a width of full because we are on flex. That's it. Okay, now you can see that it is better. So after width of full, we can use a padding for it. And I want to have a hover for them. So on hover effect, I simply use another color like BG blue of 300. That's it. And also let's have a rounded of X large for them. So you can see that I have hover, width, rounded, and this is it. We can simply create this beautiful styles with simple Tailwind classes. So after rounded of XL, let's use text center to be sure that always it is on the center of the button. And after that, let's say that on focus, I want to have a ring of 2 for my button. And on focus, I want to have a BG of white for it. And also on focus, I want to have a text blue of 600. That's it. So on focus, text blue of 600. Okay, now you can see that I have some different beautiful classes for them and it is working. So on focus, or yes, focus is good because you want to select one of them. So after this, let's continue. So for each button, I want to have a key with index, and that's it. And we want one of them to be selected when we are opening our page. So it would be on the focus state, and it would has BG of blue 600, BG white, and a ring of 2. Let's do this. So in order to doing this, you can see that I need to click on this and it would change. But when we are opening our page, we need it to be selected. The easiest way is to using the ref. So instead of React, let's import the use ref. And here, let's have a ref. So for example, let's say const of first btn ref equals to the use ref. This is it. And then I will choose the button with the ref. So for its ref, we need to be sure that this is the first button. How we can do this? It is too easy because we have this index. So simply we can say that if index equals to 0, this is the first one. So its ref would be this first btn ref, else its ref would be null. That's it. So now we have access to it, and we want to use effect to be sure that the page is rendered and mounted. So let's have a use effect. The use effect is imported from React, and inside of it, let's have the standard structure of ref, and inside of it, I use a first button ref dot current dot focus. And you can see that how easy it is. Let's format our document. And now we have a problem. It says that you're importing a component that needs use ref. It only works in the client component. So let's use this use client. And now we must be okay. Let's refresh. Yes, you can see that now it is selected. That's so good. So this was for the part of selecting the default value, which is the first one. And then let's go down and continue. So in the button side, let's have another map. So items dot map. We need to map over it. Again, we need the item and index. And for each one, I can simply render a division. And inside of this division, I can simply use the item.content, then it will be rendered. Okay, now you can see that all of them are here. But the problem is we want to change this part of the content with selecting the tabs. And you know that in order to doing this, the easiest way is using a state. So let's create a state here. So import use state and use effect and use ref. So this is a good example. We use the use state, and use ref. So good. So let's have an state here. So I say const of something equals to a use state, and it is a selected tab, and set selected tab equals use state, and the default value can be 0 because we are selecting the 0 index on the top side. And after that, here we need to check it with the selected tab. So in this division, we can simply use a class name, and because I want it to be dynamic, I use curly braces with backticks, and I say that if selected, here we need to use this. So if selected tab equals to index, so if it's equal to index, you don't need to return anything, else you need to return a hidden. That's it. Let's format document. So now we can see that only the first one is showing. Let's refresh. That's it. So for its division, its parent, let's use a BG of white and a padding of 2 and a rounded of x large to have simple structure. And I think for now we are good. So we need to be able to change this content with these tabs. Now you can see that because I'm using this state, I can simply change the state. So let's go here on the buttons, and we have a ref and a key. After that, I can simply use on click, and here I can simply call set selected tab to the index. That's it. Let's format document and refresh. Okay, now you can see that when we are refreshing, the page is new and the tab 1 is selected with this text. And if I go to the tab 2, the tab 2 will be rendered here, tab 3, and tab 4. This is it. And also you can see that when we are clicking on this and we clicking here, this would be blurred, and you can simply handle this. For example, when on this the classes, you can simply check it, and you can see that using this something like this, you can say that if the selected tab is equals to this index, have them again. So let's, you know what, let's do this. So let's go here, and because we need to change it dynamically, let's cut all of them and again use the dynamic version. So curly brace backtick and paste them again. And after that, let's have this class. So we need to check that if selected tab equals to index, so if select tab equals to index, have something else, have something else. So if selected tab equals to index, you need to have these. So let's copy all of these again and delete this focus. Let's press format document. That's good. So we simply said that if selected tab equals to index, use the ring 2 bg void and text below 600. Now you can see that when I'm clicking outside, it is not changing. Let's go to tab 2 and click somewhere else. Okay, now you can see that it is on the selected state, and that's so good. So I think it is good, and let's go back to the home. Let's go back to my tabs. Let's refresh to be sure that everything is rendered successfully. So I'm on home page and refresh. Let's go to the tabs and check it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it seems that it is working and we don't have any problem. So it is working, and this was for this episode. And this is it. So this was for this session, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also like this video and leave some comments for me. Have a good times and goodbye.